Today is October 19th. It is about 1500 today, about 3 o'clock or so right now. I had just gotten off my vibration plate. I did one session at P5. I did most of it standing. I also took the time to practice being in flow, being in my now, with my eyes open, because right now I can get into it easily with my eyes closed and in a relaxed state. But I'm reminded, and I remember back when I first, started adulting in my 20s. That was the state I lived in. I lived in a creative state. I was always dreaming up things. I was looking to the future, visualizing stuff, creating thought forms, which makes sense why there's a lot of memories that are tied to me that didn't happen in this realm, but happened in a parallel. Because there are times during this journey where I was brought back to definite memories that I know did not take place, but they were good memories, like memories, and that had good bits of information that I needed for my journey. But the age, the time, and where I was living and stuff doesn't match my real time and where I was living, because some of it was, I was seeing myself in my 30s, single and still living in Gresham, Oregon, as opposed to what I really did, which was in my 30s, I was a single mom living in Section 8 public housing, right? As opposed to being free and single and living in, a bigger city in another state. So there's that little bit of truth. The other thing that I came up with the other night, I was listening to some people that are keeping everybody up to date, ex-military and stuff, and they're teaching about how all this is going down the world stage and what it truly means, when things are really done, and then when they make the announcement, and then it looks like they're getting done right now when that's not the case. They've already been done. They've already been done for years. For instance, the Clintons are supposed to have gotten depositioned last week, this week, military tribunals and stuff. But there's intel and whatnot saying that they already were taken care of and stuff. So anyway, that got me thinking about central casting. And so if central casting is going to be used on the world stage, could that also be used in my personal that I'm just not aware of? I mean, if this is supposed to be like the Truman Show, everybody's paid, that means everybody's paid to fool and fuck with me. And then, of course, that led me to think about how I always try to leave a job or people or a situation better than I found it. You know, I'm going to be getting out of this situation, of this marriage, better than when I entered it because of the work that I've done in waking up and getting to know myself and figuring out, all this bullshit around me and stuff. And then it got me thinking, about when I listened to Taylor Love or Taylor Money, who teaches about the male brain and, how they have to have their mission and blah, blah, blah. And, they like being in their masculines and they look for the women to be in their feminines and oracles and help them on their mission and be a part of their mission and stuff, help make a sanctuary at home so that gives them a place to just come home and be and rejuvenate, recoup, restore, and then go out and be the great providers and stuff like that, the great leaders, the great providers, the loving leaders, the loving providers and stuff, which is not what I've had. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm being factual. It's not what I've had. I was expected to pull my own weight as well as, be his soft and, you know, his sexual partner and stuff. And yet he didn't reciprocate back to me. We've never really talked, like, other than the initial year when we first started dating, and then after we got married and stuff. There really, no, nope. I pretty much, lived in my own head about things and stuff, I guess. That's okay. It is what it is. But I'm ready to move on. And I do know that his income is better than, when we first got together. My income is 0. But, if you think about all that I've had to go through, the psychological attacks, the panic attacks, the anxiety attacks, the depression, the witchcraft, the satanicness, all that was put on me, not just by him, but others that, joined in and on that. That says something. It definitely says something. So, anyway, not mad, just kind of thoughtful. Haven't had weed. I didn't have any today. I didn't have any yesterday. And I didn't have any on the 18th. Oh, yesterday was the 18th. Today's the 19th. So, yeah. And then tomorrow I won't be having any either. All this in preparation for the 21st and 22nd, the new moon, the balancing moon, the Libra moon. And that makes sense. That is, I was listening to something about it, about what's coming up. And you know what? Libra is the only one that is represented by scales, balancing scales, as opposed to like the other signs. Astrological signs are represented by animals and or people, or a mixture thereof, right? Whereas Libra is an object. So that's telling. So I don't know what to expect. I just know that internally I'm guided to, do a 3-day break so that when I do go back to it, I'll be able to, um, I'll be able to reap the rewards deeper and quicker and everything. Also during this time, I really haven't been that hungry. So yesterday I didn't eat. So far I haven't eaten anything today. I took Zune yesterday. Took Zune again today. I'll take my Primal Queen today. Mm. I'm reminded that, I was just about to say it, I lost it. That's okay, it'll come back. It'll come back. Yeah, so basically, I'm in a knowing state and not so much a feeling state, because I haven't been microdosing. So, oh, that's what it is. Since I didn't eat yesterday and I haven't eaten today, I'm in a state of autophagy, and that actually kicked in from the 17th. I didn't eat much on the 17th. And so by my body doing the autophagy, that's helping because it's helping rid of all excess, and any corrupt cells and any corrupt anything within is getting used up. Energy is energy in the body, good or bad. It's energy, right? And so, um, so my body has been seeking out to gather up and take and nourish, not necessarily nourish, but yeah, releasing energy anyhow, and making the best out of what we have by doing the autophagy state. So, and I do love fasting. I do enjoy it. Well, that was it. I have taken steps to better myself, right? And the steps didn't look all that big and monumental. And I share this with you. I'm getting emotional, and it's not necessarily me. I'm tuned in and tapped in to those that don't realize that the steps that they've taken, no matter how small, has led them to what they're manifesting, what they're co-creating. And mine were just as simple as I spoke about what I want. I could visualize myself healing myself, exercising, juicing, taking better care of myself, because that's what I love doing. I love myself, and eating better, and speaking better, and so when I placed those orders and invested in me, that was me saying to the universe, to the Michiverse, I love and trust myself so much that I'm gonna invest in myself, get some supplements, got my vibration platform again. It took me a few years, but I got another one, so I'm grateful. It only took me a few years because on some level I must have been blocking it or whatever, or it was blocked for me, because it's not all me. You can't take responsibility for the shit that people have done to you that make you think it's you, but it's not all you. And it wasn't all me, because I was saying what I wanted. I was putting it out there. I could see myself doing it. I knew that I wanted it. And now I have it. So, anyway, this is a different kind of feeling making this video. And it's okay. Also, connective thoughts are coming up, and I'm not entertaining them. I see them. It's not like I'm saying no. I'm just, I don't know. I don't know what is a personality trait, or if I'm just being too empathetic and compassionate and just allowing, allowing to be walked on or something. I don't know. I would like to think that that's not the case, because, being in the new fiscal year, as I voiced it, put out there, that this should only all be good. So, but I think, though, well, I see something else developing, and I don't know what to make of it. So I'm just going to be an observant periodically, not a heavy observant, but it is what it is. Had some interesting thoughts in my dreams, in my dream state. Again, I was prevented from going somewhere, but I got attention of somebody in the sky, and they were in a van, a car, airplane type van, a flying vehicle of some sort, and I told them to come to me, and they did. It's all just interesting. It's different having like these, it's kind of like having uploads and downloads, but I'm stone sober. So they're not, they're making sense, but I'm having to work a little bit at it, because it's not just in a flow. You know, that's the thing about cannabis. That's the only thing I use. I don't drink. I don't do hard drugs. I don't even do pharmaceuticals anymore. I do supplements. Um, and then the cannabis. And I do that just to be microdosed, to be tuned in, and to be in my flow state. I don't drive when I'm doing that just because I don't want to, be unaware or slower in my responses. So right now, I'm just chilling, looking to see if I can. Oh, there it is. If I can see my density, my energy, because it wiggles and it moves and it's not static. It's very. Mm, mm. Anyway, it is what it is, and I'll just continue on moving and stuff, and everything that's happening now, like right this moment, later on, after I've done my microdose and or whatever, and I'm in the flow state, and I review this, it'll mean so much more, and it will unlock so much more. But I'm unlocking shit as I speak now. I am creating stuff as I speak now. Ooh, 222. There's 4 of them. I just saw it. It was just 228 here just a second ago, but so yeah. And that's how that usually goes. It's like that's how this whole journey has been. It's like I'll go through periods of non-use, and then when I get back to using microdosing, and then thinking back and what did that really mean, and what other gems, what did I miss? Because it's kind of like going looking for gold and then going through your tailings, you know. So I'll go back through everything, try to review, do a reflective review from the last time I used to see if I missed any gold, some gems, some nuggets, some wisdom, and ponder on that. And either incorporate, or if I come across stuff that's like, oh, wow, that makes sense. Well, that doesn't apply to me anymore. Love and release, or love and incorporate and embody, or just integrate, or whatever. So yeah, so right now this video, even though I know that on some level I'm being watched by everybody, I'm doing this video for me. It's for me to review, because yesterday I wrote, today I wrote, and I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna go make a video. So here I am chatting. Haven't really listened to about anybody yet today. I do know that things are still happening even though I'm not tuned in. Major, major changes are happening, and they will come forth later when I am tuned in, it's like all that comes rushing at me, and it makes sense, it makes clarity, it paints the picture. So that's also another way of somebody knowing, how this is going, how it's played, how it's unfolding. Also, while I was in my dream state today, I've seen it in 2 movies, 2 shows, where people got out of the, not necessarily, they were still in it, but they went from it being filled with stuff to being just an empty, like, room, an empty sound stage or whatever. And I made it to that level in my thoughts, in my dream state today. So that's very telling. I made it there on my own. I led others there that were with me in my dream state. But there again, I haven't been microdosing, so it's kind of nice that I was able to make it there. I do have somebody in my thoughts trying to connect with me and everything, and I'm not engaging. I acknowledged what showed up in my news feed, but I'll leave it up to somebody else to watch the video and stuff. Yeah, but I'm not going to. Not out of anything negative, but it's not my story. It's not my story. So I don't need to watch it. The fact that I acknowledged it means that those, like, in the Space Force are now aware that that is out there, which it's always been out there for a few years now. They can go watch it and tap into her story and tap into her and assist her that way. Yeah. So even though I still am able to maintain my high vibrational, because that is my normal, is the high vibrational. That's why I'm always in this golden state. I'm in a creative state. I'm moving into a yellow-green state, so creative love state, creative love state, creative love state, moving into that. I am blessed, I am blessed, I am blessed. I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. I am exactly where I'm supposed to be, doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, having the thoughts I'm exactly supposed to be having. I did castor oil yesterday all over my whole belly, and then I put on the castor oil, the pad that goes on top. Although I had my shirt on, so I mean, I guess I really didn't need it. I think today, though, that I'll put it on my back and work on my back, because I saw a diagram of the body, and it showed that a lot of our intestines also go down our back, and that's where we have a lot of stuck poop and waste and stuff. And I want to move that out the body, and castor oil helps all that. So I'll probably cast oil up again today and put it on my back and dislodge, defrag, and you know dislodge, defrag. What else is that? You know, detox. Yeah, detox, detoxify the body that way. Uh, anyway, 30 minutes I can really see now. Right here. It's not super big, but it is visible, still visible. So anyway, love you.